So we're recording. We're picking up where we left off on yesterday with objective 11 for our final review. Alrighty. So for objective 11, we talked about finding the slope and some more graphing. We talked about finding the slope when you have the 2 points, and graphing with the slope and y-intercept, and graphing with a point and the slope. So let's look at those. All right, so with the 2 points, what do we have to do to find the slope of a line that's passing through these 2 points?
You have to do m equals y2 subtract y1 over x2 subtracted by x1.
Yes, that is the formula for how you find slope. So slope is m, and m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, okay? P1, which is 0.1, this is our x1 and our y1, and P2, which is 0.2, is our x2 and our y2. So we have -1 minus -7, and we have -3 minus -2. All right, so we got -1 plus 7 and -3 plus 2, and that can be further simplified to 6 over -1, which is -6. For 37, they say graph by using the slope and y-intercept. So what is the slope for number 36?
5/7.
What is the y-intercept?
-3.
Yes. All right. So how do we graph using the slope and the y-intercept? What's the first step?
Graph the y-intercept first.
Yes, so first we plot the y-intercept. So we'll click on the dot icon and we'll put a point at -3 on the y-axis. Then we do our slope, which is 5 over 7. So we go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we go to the right 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we put another point there. Then we click on our arrows, and we want to make sure that the double-ended arrow is selected. Then we click on this point, and then we click on this point, and it creates that line for us. Okay, so that is how you would graph it in WebAssign. 38, we have to graph the line that passes through the given point and has the given slope. So here they are giving us a point and a slope. So we have to do the same exact thing that we did for 37. We first plot the point. So the point they give us is -4, -5. So we find that, -4, -5, and we put a point here. And on your graph, of course, your graph will be blank. So this has the key on it. So don't think on your graph it's going to already have a green line on there. So now that we have plotted that point, now we do our slope from that point. So we go up 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we go to the right 8. That's 4, 8. Put a point there. All right. Then we click on our double-ended arrow, click on that point, click on that point, and it's going to create a line for us, okay? So that's that. 36, 37, and 38 are from objective 11. Objective 12, we have 39, 40, and 41. And in objective 12, we had to write equations, okay? So they're going to give us the point and the slope, and we have to write the equation. But that should be super easy because we can just put it into, just plug it into slope-intercept form. So for 39, 40, and 41, that's what we have to do. So let's look at one of those. As you know, we have the y equals mx plus b, and then we have the point slope formula, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, right? So if we look at number 39, the point that we have, which is 0, 5, because we have that 0 where the x will be, that means that this is a y-intercept. Everybody see that? So because this is a y-intercept, we can use this form because b is the y-intercept, right? So all we have to do, since we know that b equals 5, all we got to do is just plug in our m, which is 3, and our b, which is 5. Now, if we look at number 40, for 40, the point is 6, 3. So for 40, we can use the point slope formula because we have an x and a y. So m is 1 over 6. So x is 6. So we plug the 6 in for x1, and we plug the y, which is 3, we plug that in for y1. All right. So now we have to distribute this 1 over 6 to this x and the minus 6. So on the left side, we have to bring that down. We can't do anything to this right now, so we bring it down. Some of y'all have been doing stuff with this, and it's nothing that we can do with this. The first step that we need to do is handle the distributive property. So 1 over 6 times x is just 1 over 6x, and 1 over 6 times negative 6 is negative 1. All right. From here, remember we're trying to get it into y equals mx plus b. So now we have to add 3 to both sides. And we have y equals 1 over 6x plus 2. All right. Let me rewrite it over here. So this is the equation. All right. So if we are given a point that is a y-intercept, meaning that the x value is 0, we can plug it into slope-intercept form because we have the slope and the y-intercept. If we're given a point that has an x and y coordinate and the slope, we can use point slope formula and plug everything in and work it out and put it into slope-intercept form. All right. Let's look at number 41. Number 41, we're given a point that has an x and y and the slope, so we can use the point slope formula again. So we got y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We're just going to plug in the m and that point. So the point is 2 and 3. So we got y minus 3 and x minus 2. And the m is negative 3. So first we need to distribute that negative 3. So it'll be negative 3 times x, which is negative 3x. Then negative 3 times negative 2, which is positive 6. Then we have to add 3 to both sides. So our end equation will be y equals negative 3x plus 9. So objective 13 is being covered in 41, 43, and 44. Okay, objective 13. So in objective 13, this is when we had to solve systems of equations by graphing. 42, we got 2 equations. So we're going to look at the first equation. Y equals x minus 12. Okay? So we have to solve this systems of equation by graphing. This should be fresh on everybody's memory because this is what we just worked on. So first we have to graph both of the lines. So to graph this first line, it is in y equals mx plus b, and of course on your graph paper you will probably have, you can mark down to 12 and all that on your graph paper. Unfortunately, mine is only 1 to 10 right now. So what I am going to do is do the 3-point method to graph this first one. Let's try 6 and see what happens. So y equals 6 minus 12. That means y would be negative 6. So that'll be 6, negative 6. Put a point at 6, negative 6. Let's put 8. So y equals 8 minus 12. That'll be negative 4. So that'll be 8, negative 4. So let's do y equals, let's put a 4 in for x, and we'll get a negative 8. So we got 4, negative 8. All right. Now we are going to connect those dots. All right, now let's look at our second equation. Let's get a different color. So for our second equation, we got 2x. We got 2x plus y equals 3. I think it will be easier to just solve this for y. So I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. And I got y equals negative 2x plus 3. So I'm going to graph this using my slope and my y-intercept. So the y-intercept is at 3. So I'm going to put a dot at 3 on the y-axis. And our slope is negative 2. So I'm going to go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down to over 1. So I see that right there, that's where it intersects. So right here, where both of these lines intersect, that is 5, -7. All right, and because we have the key right here, that is indeed correct. So you would just type in 5, -7, and that'll be your answer. The next one, and the more you do this, you'll kind of be able to tell if it will be easier to use a slope intercept or find the x and y intercept. The more you do this, the easier you'll be able to tell. Looking at number 43, the first equation, it will be easier to graph it using the x and y intercept because 20 is divisible by 4 and 20 is divisible by 5. If we look at equation number 2 on number 42, 3 is not divisible by 2, so that would have gave us a fraction for our x-intercept. And as you can see here, looking at the graph, see how it passes through the x-axis at 3/2. So it's kind of difficult to graph with those fractions. That's why for that one, it was easier to put it into slope-intercept form. So for 43, the first equation, it'll be easier if we do the x and y intercept. So to find the x-intercept, I just have to plug in a 0 for the y. And to find the y-intercept, I have to plug in a 0 for the x. So on the video, when I kind of just covered it up and wrote what was left, it's because I know when I plug a 0 in there that it's going to go away. So we have 4x equals 20 and 5y equals 20. So x equals 5 and y equals 4. So all I have to do is find 5 on the x-axis and find 4 on the y-axis. Now let's look at the second equation. The second equation is in slope-intercept form. So this one is going to be easy to graph. We have a 1 here. So that means that we have to plot 1 on the y-axis. And our slope is -4, 5. So we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go to the right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Then we draw a line through it. All right. After we graph it, we can see that the two lines do not intersect, and therefore we know to type in no solution in for our answer. For number 44, looking at the first equation, 10 is divisible by 2, and 10 is divisible by -5. So for this one, I would do the x and y intercepts as well. So for this first one, I know that I would have 2x equals 10 and -5y equals 10. So x will equal 5 and y would be -2. So I'm just going to go ahead and plot those. And for the second equation, we have -2 is our y-intercept. So I'm going to plot a point at -2 on the y-axis. And our slope is 2/5, so we're going to go up 2 and to the right 5. And that point is there. So I can already see that both of those points are on the same line. So it's the same line, okay? So when we have it and it's the same line, it is infinitely many solutions, but we need to find the ordered pair for that. And the way that we do that is one of our equations, we put it in the form of y equals mx plus b. And here we see that the second one is already in that form. So we just write our ordered pair as x, comma, and whatever y equals, which in this case, y equals 2/5 x minus 2. So this will be our ordered pair. So it's x, and then we plug in what x equals after we solve one of the equations for y. So that is objective 13. Okay. Okay, so that was 42 to 44. So let's keep on going. So 45 to 47 was on the substitution method. And that was objective 14. So with these problems, I kind of went easy on you guys and already have one of them solved for a variable. So these problems should be really easy for y'all. All you have to do is substitute it in and just do what needs to be done, okay? So let's look at the first one quickly. So we see that equation 1 and equation 2. Equation 2 is already solved for x. So we're going to take this, what x equals, and we're going to plug it in for that x right there. Just like that, okay? Because the 3 is in front of this parentheses group, we have to distribute. So it'll be 6y minus 33 minus 2y equals negative 13. We have to combine the like terms. So we will have 4y minus 33 equals negative 13. Then we have to add 33. So we have 4y equals, and I believe it will be 20. Yep. So y equals 5. Okay. Now that we have what y equals, we plug that into this equation. And we have 10 minus 11, so x will be negative 1. So our ordered pair will be negative 1, 5. Okay?